Assalamu alaikum. Hope all is well at your end. Today we will be talking about moods and emotions. In the last lecture, we talked about applications of motivation theories, and in today's seventh week, second part, we will be talking about moods and emotions. Before going to what is mood and what's emotions, we have to go to the history of moods and emotions. Historically, the study of OB hasn't given much attention to emotions and moods. Emotions and moods were typically seen as irrational, so managers tend to work to make the workplace emotions free. So they were trying to make the workplace emotion free. It means there should be no emotions. Managers په هغه وخت کې غوښتل چې خلک د په organizations کې emotions free وي یا emotions یا moods دی پکې نه وي. Often managers viewed emotions as disruptive to the workplace and therefore a hindrance, a block to productivity. Managers به غوښتل ویل به هغوی دا ذهنیت و چې emotions چې دي هغه disruptive دي، هغه destroying دي، deteriorating دي، هغه تباه کوونکي دي دغه لپاره د organizations دپاره، نو د یا د productivity لپاره چې دی هغه یو تاواني شی دی یا تباه کوونکی شی دی. However, when thinking about emotions, typically managers were focusing on negative emotions, even though there are some negative emotions that could hinder productivity. There is no doubt that workers bring their emotions to the workplace. حقیقت دی چې دا هم داسې نه ده چې emotions دی always good وي. داسې emotions شته دی چې هغه د ورکپلیس باندې بد اغیزه کوي، په خلکو باندې بد اغیزه کوي، په پروډکټیویټي باندې بد اغیزه کوي، په کار باندې بد اغیزه کوي. So therefore any study in OB would not be complete without considering the roles of emotions in the workplace. که چیرته یو سړی study کوي یا چې دی manager دی هغه study کوي، هغه evaluation کوي، نو حقیقت دا دی چې دی باید emotions او moods چې دی هغه study کوي، هغه د یادونه باسي. We say that what is mood and what is emotions. So I told you that emotions were previously ignored in the organizations, so they were considered irrationals because emotions, as per the history, irrational because they were difficult to measure. They were difficult. They were disruptive for the organizations. So in the last decades, there was no attention for such moods and emotions. In today, researchers have given lots of attention to it, and it says that when show no emotions, then you will not feel anything. We come to the definitions of emotion and mood. But before studying emotion and mood, there is a terminology that's called affect. Affect means it's a generic term that encompasses a broad range of feelings that people experience. Affect is a generic term that covers a broad range of feelings that emotions that people experience. It's an umbrella concept that encompasses both emotions and moods. Affect چې دی هغه یو general term دی چې هغه خپل feelings د انسان experience کې ښیي. خپل انسان یو experience یو feeling چې دی، یو احساس هغه تجربه کوي. Affect بیا دوه types دي چې یو ته emotions ویلی شي او بل ته mood ویلی شي. So moods are feelings that tend to be less intense. Before I have to first define mood. Emotions are intense feelings that are directed to someone or something. They are short-term and action-oriented. Emotions are caused by specific events. Uh, they are very brief in duration. They may last for about seconds or minutes. They do not last long because it's an emotion. It is a feeling, an intense feeling that is directed at someone or something. Emotions چې دی هغه یو مخامخ یو شی دی چې هغه دغه کیږي ښکاره کیږي او دی short term وي او د action oriented. For example, if a student gave an exam, and after the exam he expected the result 70 marks, but when he saw the result he got 90 or 85 marks. So what is his feeling, his emotion? Of course he will be happy, he will be surprised. So this feeling of surprise, this feeling of happiness is his emotion. It may last for about 5 minutes, for about 2 minutes, or for about seconds, and then he goes out. The same, if he expects 80 marks in the exam and he saw the result on the notice board, getting 70 marks, so his feeling will be what? Of course sad, of course unhappy. So the unhappiness or the sadness will last for about 4 or 3 minutes. We come to the definition, and then we will differentiate what are the emotion differentiation between mood and emotions. So moods are feelings that tend to be less intense than emotions, and that often, not always, lack a contextual stimulus. A stimulus is تحرك it's an activity. دا د emotions نه لږ زیات intense دي، دا شدید نه دي، دا strong نه دي. So دا چې دی یو contextual stimulus، یو حرکت باید وي، یو context وي، یو background باید وي یو شي ته لپاره، نو ځکه چې دی دا mood change کیږي. او دا عموما چې دی دا unclear وي، د دې duration چې دی هغه long lasting وي، ځکه یو سړی mood مې خراب دی، موږ وایو که نه چې mood مې خراب دی. So mood may last for about 10 hours, for about an hour, for about even days. For example, if someone's relative, family members died, so his mood will be what? At first, if someone calls him that your dad is died, what will be his feeling? Of course, his emotion will be sad. He will have a sad moment for about few minutes or seconds. He will be shocked, surprised, even sad. He will have a negative reaction on that. While mood, until long days, for long time, for even months and years, his mood will not come to a normal time. So look at a feeling of sadness for about when he heard his father's or death, and his mood after that emotion. So this is the real example. Well, mood is more general, while emotions are specific and numerous. How? Emotions can be anger, can be fear, can be sadness, can be happiness, while moods can be only positive or negative. Emotions can be usually seen by facial expressions, while moods cannot be sometimes shown by facial expressions. Moreover, emotions are caused by specific events or specific person and specific things, while moods is general and unclear. Affect, we said before that affect is a broad range of feelings that emotions and moods are the type of them. We said that emotions can be caused by specific events, while moods cause is often general and unclear. Emotions are brief in duration; they may last for seconds or minutes, while moods are long-lasting. Maybe they last for hours or days. Emotions are specific and numerous. Like example is given: anger, fear, sadness, and others. while moods are only negative and positive. Uh, Usually, emotions are accompanied by distinct facial expressions, while moods are generally not indicated by distinct expressions. Emotions are action oriented in nature, while moods are cognitive in nature. They need cognition. Uh, we come to the definitions of mood. What is mood? Uh, Emotion. Sorry, what is emotion? Emotions are intense feelings that are directed at someone or something. Agar strong feelings to the kas ya yo shi bara ke مونږ لرو او مونږ تحرک کوي. رابنز او جج د خپل کتاب کې ویلي کوم بوک چې مونږ فالو کوو هغه د رابنز بوک دی. نو emotions چې دي هغه intense feelings دي، هغه strong feelings دي. مونږ داسې ویلی شو چې یو ناګهاني feelings دي، یا anger دی یا happiness دی یا fear دی یا sadness دی. هغه شیان چې زمونږ په مخ راښکاره کیږي بروی ما چی ظاهر میشه عرف emotions میگه زیاد وقت ای emotions که است یا feelings احساس که است ای temporary است موقتی است به seconds یا minutes میشه while moods are permanent, not permanent but may last for few hours, few days. There are two types of emotions. One is called felt emotions, one is called displayed emotions. So felt emotions, it is an individual's actual emotions. د یو سړي خپل حقیقي emotions چې هغه ښکاره کوي، هغه احساس ښکاره کوي، دي ته چې دی مونږ felt emotions ویلی شو. او کم displayed emotions چې دي هغه organizationally required دي، هغه په یو جاب کې سره کم مونږ emotions باید ولرو. Of course when you are servicing, so which kind of mood shall you be acquired to do? Of course a good, a happy moment, a smile moment. So felt emotions are individuals actual reaction emotions. هغه حقیقي دي. displayed هغه دي چې ته ښکاره کوي، هغه ته د in نه out ښکاره کوي، هغه د باطن نه ظاهر ته ښکاره کوي. Maybe sometimes you do not feel good in a hotel while you are a waiter, but you display a kind of emotions on your face, a facial expression that will have a good to the customer. ته به خپل بدی، ته به خپل feeling بد کوي، ستا به inner چې دی هغه خفګان وي، خفه به وي، ته به چې دی په بد حالات کې وي. لیکن کله چې ته کسټمر سره میلاویږي، کسټمر سره چې دی مخامخ کیږي، so you will smile. نو هغه displayed emotions ته ښکاره کوي. راځو دي ته چې features څه شی دي د emotions. تاسو وګورئ دی پکچر ته 15 faces درکړل شوي دي. تاسو ته کم شیان ښکاري پکې؟ یو mood پکې angry دی، یو پکې surprise دی، یو پکې happy دی، یو پکې چې دی sad دی، یو پکې disgusted دی. So strong feelings directed towards some specific targets. Their reactions to an event, they are fleeting. Fleeting means come and go quickly. دغه خاصیتونه دي چې د emotions دا خاصیت دی چې دی ډېر زر ځي او ډېر زر راځي. یو شی ته وګوري، یو شی ته واوري، خوشحاله شي، خفه شي، وویرېږي، یو شي نه شاک شي، دا ډېر زر ځي راځي په seconds او په minutes کې. او دا action oriented دي، دوی دا د action مقابل کې کیږي. عموما شپږ داسې بیسیک emotions دي چې researchers ښودلي دي. هغه اوسه پورې دغه نه دي کنفرم نه دي اتنټیک نه دي چې ټول په دې اګریډ وي. ریسرچرز اوس هم په دې کوشش کوي چې دغه یو کیټګرایز کړي، یو کیټګري ته یې واچوي چې هغه وندر دی، لو دی، هیټرډ دی، ډیزایر دی، جوی دی او سیډنس دی. مونږ سره کم سټډي کولی شو د emotions د facial expressions نه. او دا ولې ګران دي مونږ لپاره؟ ځکه چې some emotions are very complex and can be expressed through facial expressions. ځکه چې بعضې feelings، بعضې emotions دي چې هغه ډېر زیات مغلق دي او دا د مخ نه مونږ نشو معلومولی چې یو سړی خفه دی، خوشحاله دی. لکه مونږ وایو love، یو سړی په یو love کې دی، نو دی څه رقم کولی شي چې د معلوم کی facial expressions د love دی او کس ده د love یو چاته مخامخ به وایي خو هغه social facial expressions نه ته نشي معلومولی چې د مثلا love لري یا نه لري یو موډ به وي یو موډ به وي خو د facial expression نه یو کس نشي معلومولی چې یو کس وایي چې دا په love کې دی نو ځکه دا سخت دی چې موږ emotions through facial expressions معلوم کو cultural factors هم کېدلی شي موږ چې دی داسې خلک لرو چې هغوی culturally موږ ته د هغوی culture داسې وي چې هغه facial expressions نه شو کوي چې دا خوشحاله دی خفه دی په دې شیانو باندې researchers have identified 6 universal emotions هغه anger دی fear دی sadness happiness disgust and surprise دی تاسو دا پکچر وګورئ د کې 8 pictures دي خو شپږ دغه به درته تاسو ته دغه شي میلاو شي چې څه رقم کولی شي یو انسان disgust وي هغه angry دی هغه fearing کې دی هغه خفه دی هغه خوشحاله دی disgustive دی هغه surprised دی shocked دی نو دا و د emotions باره کې اوس راځو موډ ته چې موډ څه ته ویلی شي موډ چې دی هغه د emotions نه less strong دی هغه less intense دی کم هغه دی قوي دی and like a contextual stimulus د کې contextual stimulus چې دی هغه sometimes نه وي مواجه so moods چې دی هغه specific reasons sometimes نه لري sometimes لري sometimes نه لري long lasting وي موږ مخکې مو ویلو د cognitive level طرف ته دا چې دی موږ بوزي نو moods موږ مخکې وویل چې دا positive وي او negative وي so one way to classify emotions is by whether they are positive or negative. Positive emotions mean such as joy and gratitude. Gratitude means love. Express a favorable evaluation or feeling. While negative emotions are such as anger or guilt or express the opposite. Keep in mind that emotions can't be neutral. Being neutral is being non-emotional. Emotions cannot be neutral. They become when we group emotions into a positive and negative category, they become mood and states because we are now looking at them more general instead of isolating one particular emotions. So the functions of emotions, what are the functions of emotions? So there are many functions of emotions and they can be tell us that what can emotions do. Do emotions make us irrational? Have you heard about someone say, oh, you are just being emotional? You might have been offended. There is a famous astronomer called Carl Sagan. He wrote once, where we have strong emotions, we are liable to fool ourselves. This observation suggests that the rationality and emotions are in conflict with one another, and if you exhibit emotions, you are likely to act irrationally. One team of authors argues that displaying emotions such as sadness to the point of crying is so toxic to a career that we should leave the room rather than allow others to witness our emotional display. So, negative affect and positive affect also is a term that is used in moods. What are the sources of emotions and moods? I think we have missed this. There are some sources of emotion and moods. They can be personality, they can be time of the day, they can be weather, they can be social activities, they can be stress, they can be sleep, they can be exercise, they can be age, and they can be gender. For example, in the early morning or in the early week of the day, in the early day, how someone feels, of course he feels happy, he feels energetic, he feels active. While in the mid and at the end of the day, he becomes tired. So it is his mood. It is his, the moods arises from these moods. The kam shayan arazi marji kam yodi no mungwalchi personality na ratla shi the insan personality agar is rigid de agar is happy de agar is active de ariz na ratla shi ya mungwalchi the days of the week na ratla shi ya time na ratla shi yo sarai sahar kidir active we energized we خو ماخام کې هغه ډیر زیات ستړی وي خسته مې باشه خفه مې باشه so همداسې in the week هفته کې په لومړۍ هفته کې سړی ډیر زیات ښه وي active وي خو چې کله mid ته راځي in the middle of the week he becomes tired, he becomes bored, he becomes upset. So this is the source of emotion and mood. Weather کېدلی شي هوا میتونه یک د بارش یک کسی خفه باشه یا یک کسی زیاد بارش خوش داره so of course his mood changes, his emotion changes. uh, the same can be social activities. When someone gets bored at home alone sitting, just like in the corona time, so if he is doing social activities outside or helping others, his mood will be changed, of course. It's a kind of source for the mood and emotion. Sleep. Sometimes someone sleeps and he says, after sleeping, I am okay, my mood is okay now. So sleep is a source of mood. Exercise is also a source of mood. یو سړی exercise کوي, یو سړی چې دغه ورزش کوي, sport مې کنه, so of course after exercise he will be okay. He will be released of stress. عموما stress خلکو لپاره, depressed خلکو لپاره چې د exercise د ټولو نه ښه source of mood ده. ایج کېدلی شي زاړه خلک چې دی عموما د هغوی موډ خراب وي, د هغوی فیلینګز خراب وي, دردونه وي. جندر کېدلی شي چې هغه دغه کېدلی شي چې ښځې عموما د سړو په نسبت باندې هغه ډېر زیات ایموشنل وي. نو دغه شیان چې دي هغه کولی شي چې زمونږ موډز راوپاري یا ایموشنز راوپاري. مونږ راځو emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? This term was EI. Some people call it EI. This term was first developed by Slavery and Meyer in 1990, and then Daniel Goleman popularized it. Emotional intelligence is a person's ability to be self-aware, to recognize his or her own emotions when he or she experiences them, or detect emotions in others, or they manage emotional cues and information. So emotional intelligence is a person's ability to perceive emotions in self and others. په خپل ځان کې دی کولی شي چې perceive کړي, یا په نورو کې دی کولی شي چې هغه perception دی ولري, یا هغه د emotions meaning چې دی پوی پوی شي, یا regulate one's emotions accordingly. دی کولی شي چې د خلکو یا د خپل ځان ایموشنز چې د هغه ریګولیشن وکړي یا کنټرول کړلی شي. So people who know their own emotions and are good at reading emotion cues, for instance, knowing why they are angry and how to express themselves without violating norms, are most likely to be effective. هغه سره خلک چې ښه پوهېږي چې زه غوسه یم خو د هغه نورمز نه ماتوي, دی په خپل ځان باندې چې دی قابو ساتي, دا اوس چې دی he is an effective person, he is an effective employee. He doesn't violate the norms. Several studies suggest that EI or emotional intelligence plays an important role in the job performance. One study looked at the characteristics of engineers at Lucent Technologies who were rated as stars by their peers. The researcher concluded that stars were better at relating to others. That is, it was emotional intelligence, not IQ, that characterized high performers. So it means the IQ does not have more effective than emotional intelligence. How will we apply emotions and moods in the workplace? So there are some applications, how we can apply those emotions and moods in the workplace. So the first is employee selection. One implication from the evidence to date on emotional intelligence is that employees should consider it as a factor in hiring employees, especially in jobs that demand a high degree of social interaction. In fact, more and more employees are starting to use emotional intelligence measuring to hire people. It means when we are hiring people, we have to check his emotional intelligence. Uh, Decision making is the second one. So decision making is uh, positive moods and emotions seem to help decision making. People in good moods or those experiencing positive emotions are more likely than others to use heuristic or rules of thumbs to help make good decisions quickly. Positive emotions also enhance problem solving skills so that positive people find better solutions to the problems. Uh, of course یو سړی موډ ښه وي یو سړی چې د هغه اوکې وي هغه ښه فیل کوي so he will take good decisions. The next one is creativity. People who are in good moods tend to be more creative than people in bad mood. It's for sure. څوک چې ښه فیلینګ کوي هغه به کریټیو وي هغه به ډیر سوچ کوي هغه به چې دی نوي نوي شیان لپاره چې دی هغه دماغ کاروي. They produce more ideas. Others think that their ideas are original and they tend to identify more creative options to problems. Uh, some researchers, however, do not believe that a positive mood makes people more creative. There is a kind of ideas. The idea is اختلاف دی چې بعض researchers وایي نه creativity په good or bad mood باندې creativity اثر نه کوي creativity په bad mood good mood باندې اثر نه کوي. Next is motivation. Motivation هم چې دی کولی شي چې په mood باندې چې دی هغه positive یا negative application وکړي apply شي. کله چې motivation وي په work place باندې of course people will feel good. کله چې motivation نه وي people will feel their mood will be of course bad. هغه به feelings او emotions چې وي هغه moods هغه به change کیږي ځکه هغه motivated نه دی هغه راضي نه دی چې کله انسان راضي نه وي نو د هغه mood of course کولی شي چې په work place باندې bad دغه وکړي impact وکړي. Fifth one is leadership. Effective leaders rely on emotional appeals to help convey their message. In fact, the expression of emotions in speeches is often the critical elements that makes us accept or reject leaders' message. کله چې یو leader خبرې کوي او هغه ویناوې کوي نو موږ د هغه positive and negative points اخلو د هغه message ته موږ ګورو. When leaders feel excited, enthusiastic and active, they may be more likely to energize their subordinates and convey a sense of efficacy, competence, optimism and enjoyment. Next is negotiation. Negotiation is an emotional process. However, we often say a skilled negotiator has a poker face. Displaying a negative emotion such as anger can be effective, but feeling bad about your performance appears to impair future negotiations. Individuals who do poorly in negotiation experience negative emotions, develop negative perceptions of their counterpart and are less willing to share information or be cooperative in future negotiations. The next one is customer service. A worker's emotional state influences customer service, which influence levels of repeat business and levels of customer satisfaction. یو سړی چې satisfied وي okay وي moody ښه وي نو of course he will serve the customers in a good way. Next is job attitude. Job attitude means that people who had a good day work tend to be in a better mood at home that evening, and people who had a bad day tend to be in a bad mood once they are at home. Evidence show that people who have stressful day at work have trouble relaxing after they get off work. که چیرته یو سړی په جاب باندې چې دی هغه stressful وي، هغه به کور کې هم په bad mood کې وي. Next is deviant workplace behavior. Negative emotions can lead to a number of deviant workplace behaviors. Anyone who has spent much time in an organization realizes that people often behave in ways that violate uh, established norms, behaviors that violate organization norms and threaten the organization and its member. For example, envy, hasad, and anger, ghusa, people who feel negative emotions are more likely than others to engage in short-term deviant behavior such as gossiping. Gossiping means غیبت کول په دغه شانو کې شروع. Negative emotions and moods can be escalating negative behaviors. کولای شي چې دا negative behaviors هغه escalate کی، هغه زیات کی، هغه raise کی. The last application of the moods and emotions in the workplace is enhancing safety and prevention injury. Of course, if a bad mood ki bhi no, he will have accidents. Individuals in negative moods tend to be more anxious, which can make them less able to cope effectively with hazards, with harms. Negative moods distract employees, leading to carelessness. Now, what can managers do to improve the moods of employees? The first thing is use humor to lighten the moment. Humor, sense of humor باید په managers کې وي، خوشحالي وي، خندا وي، ټوکه وي. دغه شیان چې په کله په organizations کې وي نو managers moods okay کیږي. Appreciation, thank you very much, great, you did a good job, you are a best employee, you did very well. These are the small appreciations you do on the job. Stay in a good mood themselves, lead by example. کله نه کله چې دی managers خپله باید خوشحاله او خوښ اوسیږي، خندان اوسیږي، هغه lead by example اوسیږي، خپله مثال اوسیږي د نورو لپاره چې هغه هم په good mood کې شي. کله چې انسان په good mood کې سړی وویني د هغه خپله هم ورسره feelings چې دی هغه good mood کېږي. بله خبره دا ده چې کله موږ hiring کوو نو hire those people who are positive people, negative people نه ځان وباسئ. Next thing is keep in mind دا خبرې باید یاد ولرسئ چې positive emotions can increase problem solving. هغه څوک چې هغه positive وي، optimism هغه کې وي، نو هغه خلک ډېر ښه problem solvers وي. بله خبره دا ده چې څوک emotional intelligence زیات ولري د هغوی په خپل jobs کې ډېر زیات effective اوسیږي. Last خبره دا ده چې managers need to know the emotional norms for each culture they do business with. Managers باید د emotional norms هغه د یو culture study کی چې څه رقم د culture دی د norms څه دي. So simply we say that managers have to give priority to the moods and emotions on the job or in the workplace. Thank you very much. If you've got any questions, you can put me.